Hey there, Mr. Comedy01 here, otherwise known as Joe. I'm your average Sheffielder who's a mad animation fan. First of all, I'd just like to apologise about the Q&A. I've been recently working very hard and very stressed out because of it. Getting all stressed out because I've got deadlines as well. All deadlines here, there and everywhere have been getting me worn out, and I haven't had the time to do it, and it's been really playing on my Asperger's. So I might do that in the near future, when I've got something like 125 subs or something. Anywho, I want to get on to the real subject. This was an idea I had about 2011, I believe, and it was originally a fan fiction where all these animated characters lived in a world where they knew each other for who they were and what they did. And this proved a bit problematic because, well, it went through so much tweaking. It was really just getting on my nerves. So then I decided to shelve the idea and work on other projects. Now I've come back to it, and I thought I need to do something different with it. And I thought, I love animation, why not put me in it? And I thought, that's genius. Putting yourself in an animation, adding human presence, because I want to be an aspiring animator when I'm older. I want to study animation and become an animator, just like people like Peter Lord, David Sproxton, Nick Park, all those names that have gone down in the world. And so I decided to add me in there, as well as 3 other companions, kind of like a Doctor Who relationship. I thought about having 2 females and 1 male, so it equals out the idea of 2 females and 2 males for human presence. Now, as for the cartoon heroes themselves, the characters are copyrighted, yes, I'm aware, but I'm not planning to make money out of this, yes. I'm not planning to make money out of it. Because, well, I've learnt something from watching a YouTube video made by a Minecraft user. It's not really worth it making money out of YouTube videos. And I haven't even I don't really make money out of them for the start, really, from when I started on YouTube all those years ago. Just kind of not worth making money out of YouTube videos to me. So anyway, the heroes. Well, anyway, what I wanted to have these heroes is that I wanted to have them from famous cartoons. So I wanted to have something from Canada, which obviously led to the raccoons. I wanted something that was, well, Hanna-Barbera, so that led to the Smurfs, and also the Snorks as well, because I loved both cartoons as a kid when I watched them with my big sister. And then there was, then I thought about having something that I just really had my heart set on ever since I was a kid, which was Thomas the Tank Engine. I mean, I've loved Thomas since I was 3 years old. I mean, my first video was The Deputation. I saw Thomas at Peak Rail. And and before you ask, yes, they did have Thomas events when I was a kid, which was about 96, 97. And then I thought, we need a few more, I think. So I thought, Danger Mouse, obviously, because he's a CITV show, and I think CITV turned 30 recently, and I thought it'd be fun to have something from CITV that everyone remembers. It'd also be funny to have comedian star voices in there, voices of that were portrayed by famous comedians, because we all love David Jason and Terry Scott, and I thought about having characters who had been voiced by comedians in there. I thought about having one final one, but I couldn't find the right one. Then I found it. The reason why I chose this one is it's because it's a topper in the charts of Barb. For those of you who do not know what Barb is, it's the viewing figures for here in the UK. I've done a lot of work on Barb in my time, and as a media student, I've learned a lot about it. We've been refreshing our memories over it recently in our advertising lessons, because we're going to be doing adverts in one of our lessons. And anyway, this program, it topped the charts at Barb for CITV. This program starred John Franklin Robbins, who most Whovians will remember for his minor role in the briefing the Doctor to destroy the Daleks in Genesis of the Daleks. And it also starred Melvin Hayes from It Ain't Half Hot Mom and Super Ted. Apparently it was a rather funny program. It always had the same formula, but strangely, this formula worked. The villains always stole the Dreamstone. The heroes had to go rescue it, and the heroes always got it back by some miraculous chance. I thought about having the characters from that as well. I thought about the idea of having both heroes and villains from each of the shows. It would work very well. And speaking of heroes and villains, I thought about now we should go on to the characters. As for the characters, I thought about having the raccoons, having Bert, Ralph and Melissa, because, well, they're the main three, aren't they? For Thomas the Tank Engine, I thought, since Thomas has got too many characters to name, I decided to have a select amount. Thought about having Thomas, obviously, because we need him. He's the main star. Thought about having Percy, his best friend. Thought about having wise old Toby as well, there to be kind of like be the voice of reason, the elder of the team. Have James as well to be kind of like be the one who's always like grumbling around. Thought about having a female presence as well, which would be, well, Lady, because I wanted to have Diesel 10 as the main villain for the Thomas side, with his two sidekicks, Splatter and Dodge. So I thought, have the characters from the Magic Railroad in there. Thought about having select characters from kind of like the programs that used in the cartoons, only like select amounts, like the main ones really, who everyone really loves. I've also thought about having like kind of like guest stars as well, guest cartoons visiting us on the program, or well, on the webtoon or whatever you could call it, and thought about shows that are kind of like all different genres. So I thought about having a sci-fi episode where we have to go rescue sci-fi characters. I also thought about having some kind of like stories based around different type of scenarios. I thought about having like a story based around the idea of jokes, one based around the idea of ghosts, one based around the idea of sci-fi. All these ideas are based around concepts of what makes a cartoon good. I mean, you always have the good laugh at the end of the story. You always have the slapstick humour. You always have the kind of like the witty lines, the witty puns and stuff like that when someone makes a joke. I've also thought about having a bit of stuff like chases as well in there as well, kind of like epic chases to add a kind of sense of action in there as well. So like that when we've been discovered or something, we end up getting chased off down the railway or down a mine or something. Thought about having like cameos as well. Like for example, in a mine, I thought about a rather funny one involving Indiana Jones, because we all know from the second Indiana Jones film, they go down a mine in a mine cart. It's rather. And I thought about the idea of passing Indiana Jones. In a sense, it would be funny. It's a funny little gag, and thought about having maybe having Bill and Ben from Thomas as like comedy reliefs in one episode to like play their famous Diesel trick on the villains as well. Just kind of like to save the day in effect. It's kind of like a clever idea I thought up in a sense. It's I keep thinking of these clever ideas that could work in a sense. But still, it's all very much a work in progress idea. Now I want to mention kind of like the voices and stuff. I thought about voicing some of the characters myself as well. Like I thought about voicing Thomas, obviously, because I love the little blue engine. I thought I will be voicing myself as well, and portraying myself as well, because it's kind of like effectively going to be like part real life, because you need that to walk into the world of animation. And kind of like have other voices doing, like have a full cast in a sense. Before people ask, I'm afraid no, I'm not looking for people on YouTube to do voices. So I'm not that kind of person. I'm not in it to look big or to be famous. I just want to make people happy. That's all I want to do. I'm not in it for the fame. I'm not in it for fame. I'm not in it to look big. I just want to make people happy. That's all. So I'm thinking about getting people from the animation club that I'll be going to help with the voicing and many of my other future projects as well, because many of the students who will be going to that animation club, like the one I go to, the Fly Cheese one, you can get to the link on my website, not my website, my main page, and lots of them have autism and Asperger's, just like me, and well, thought about using them as well for many of my projects, as well as a few like as well as doing animation. They also do like comic stuff as well. I thought about making a Doctor Who crossover comic adventure, which is also kind of like a web comic where with full cast as well, much like one I've seen called The 10 Doctors, which is rather good. By the looks of it, I've seen it and it looks really good. The colorization bits of the voicing is rather good. I've read I've read all of it as well. The story, it was a very good story. The plot, it's kind of like rewriting the events of the Time War. This person's come up with the idea of. and kind of like thought about having a Doctor Who series as well. Anyway, back to the cartoon heroes, by the way. The voices are... Anyway, I wanted them to kind of just be the kind of like normal voices, not be anyone who's recognised on YouTube for anything in fandom or something. Just want it to be kind of, well, basic, average, normal. That's it, really. Have and also work in a team with the animation club as well, so that it's not my name just on there. So I mean, I could have like, so I could be like the creative consultant, and I could have members of the team as well helping out with the voicing and with the voicing, the design, and the everything else. In a sense, it's kind of like want to make it kind of like a club project in a sense. Just like to see if they'd like the idea when I join the club, of course. Anyway, I think that's the idea for now, and I'll try and catch up with you guys later on in the future. So I'll see you around. Cheery, bye.